ESPN presents college basketball, the American Athletic Conference. This afternoon from Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, Florida, and inside Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena, it is the Battle of the Owls as Rice takes on Florida Atlantic. And good afternoon, everybody. Frank Fort alongside the smooth one, Chris Williams. Rice has lost 3 in a row, Chris. Florida Atlantic 0-2 in the league at home, both desperate for a win today.
Well, good afternoon, partner. Both teams coming off tough losses. However, when you deep dive into these teams, there are a couple of plays for wins. Let's see what happens this afternoon.
Let's check in with our sideline reporter this afternoon, Gabriella Hoagland.
This is the first and only time that Rice and FAU are going to be meeting up this season. FAU has taken a victory against Rice the past 5 meetups. Who do you guys think we need to look out for this matchup?
Thanks, Gabriella. Well, the players to watch out for. And tell me if you sense sort of a trend here. Both wear number 12. Both are named Trey. We'll start with the Owls from Houston and their point guard, Trey Brodnax.
Trey is a big guard at 6'4". This young man understands how to use his size. Very crafty in screen and roll action. However, when he gets into the paint area, able to bump and grind and score. His last outing, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists.
The offense flows through Trey Brodnax. For the Owls of Florida Atlantic, Trey Carroll plays the 5 spot, but he is not your traditional center.
Trey brings high energy and intensity, the ultimate spark. Does a little bit of everything at 6'7". What you'd like to see him do is get more easy baskets. He scores so hard, the type of player can dictate a game without scoring a point.
He started the last 4 games and averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Florida Atlantic needs more of that. All right, keys to this afternoon's game. Let's drop some Williams wisdom on you.
No question for Rice. Cut down the turnovers. When they turn the basketball over, it leads to easy baskets. Adjust to conference play. They play hard all the time. However, you want to be more efficient, play smart. For Florida Atlantic, crash the glass. In this case, Rice sends 4. You get out in transition, get easy buckets, play with confidence, step up, knock down the 3 when it's open.
All right, the head coach at Rice is Rob Lanier. His first season at Rice, previously the head coach at SMU and Georgia State. You see his overall coaching record, just over 500. John Jacobs, his first season as the Owls head coach, his first season as a head coach in American college basketball, previously an assistant at Rice and Gonzaga. And off the opening tip, Rice will control. Rice in the blue with the white trim, and Florida Atlantic in the white with the blue and pink trim. Husseinovic from Bosnia and Herzegovina fires the fadeaway jumper that is out and in.
Tough shot, good defense, better offense.
Leland Walker for the Owls. This is Baba Miller. Ken Evans and Kiki Tandy along with Trey Carroll. Carroll on a pick and pop. Swing the ball to Evans. Mid-range jumper is no good. Brodnax with the rebound.
That's good ball movement. You love when the ball goes from one side of the floor to the other.
There's the starting lineup for Rice. And they are missing Kellen Amos. He did not make the trip here to South Florida. Jacob Dar, who has the ball now, starting in place of Amos. Dar with a tough layup.
Strong baseline move. Again, you love taking the contact on the baseline, playing through it, and scoring the bucket.
There is the Owls lineup as Leland Walker takes it into the paint. Carroll back to Walker. Trey Carroll posting up. Walker fires from 3 and hits.
Love it, Frank. You love Leland stepping into that 3-ball, shooting it with confidence.
That's what the Owls have to do today, make some threes. There's Dar again on the baseline, off to Powell, who lays it in with a left hand.
Dar with the counter, previously takes the basket to the ball to the basket that time. Great drop-off pass.
Florida Atlantic has struggled defensively this year, and Rice off to a good start offensively. There's Baba Miller down low. Draws the double team. Tries to dribble out of it. Good find for Walker.
Beautiful pass by Baba. Again, he gives you so many flashes of what he can do on the floor offensively without scoring the basketball.
Both these teams averaging over 70 points a game. So we expect a good offensive show today from both squads. Broadnax with 10 to shoot. Turns down the Powell screen on the pick and roll. Dar, blocked by Miller. Carroll in transition. Trey fouled from behind. Akuche will pick up the foul.
And that's the beauty of a Baba Miller. Defensively, help side, able to come up with a huge block. Again, help side defense, right in the right place at the right time, uses its length. This allows FAU to get out in transition, get some easy ones, Frank, so you don't have to play against the setup defense of Rice.
Non-shooting foul, so the Owls will get it in from the baseline. Walker's corner three is short. Powell with the rebound. Backdoor cut, knocked away by Tandy. Carroll feeds Ken Evans. Back to Carroll, the layup is good.
Excellent transition opportunity. Once again, it starts with the defense. Defense leads to offense.
First lead today for Florida Atlantic. Just underway first half. Broadnax. Carroll has him on the switch. Broadnax into the lane, maybe got away with a walk. Dar's corner jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, Powell. Vucinovic, good for three.
Great knockdown. Shooters shoot. Top of the key. You love that spot if you're a good shooter or guard. You know you have that backdrop, and it helps tremendously.
Vucinovic, a 39% three-point shooter. Rice back on top by 2. Tandy for Carroll. Backing in against Powell. Miller, short-range jumper.
Really good post-to-post work there. You like the bumping and grinding from Trey. Early on, talked about him getting some easy baskets, but you like when both of those guys can facilitate for each other.
Vucinovic beating Powell. Working in on Trey Carroll, who got a piece of the shot. Deflected out by Baba Miller. It'll stay with Rice. And we have our first timeout. 15:50 left to go in the first half. Good offense so far from both teams. It's Rice 9, Florida Atlantic 9 on this Sunday afternoon here in Boca Raton. $15:50 to go first half. Rice and Florida Atlantic tied at 9. Let's check in with Gabriella Hoagland.
I got to learn more about Trey while speaking with him, telling me that he had dreams and aspirations of being the President of the United States from 12 years old to his freshman year of college. This inspired him to go and attend the Naval Academy. How do you guys think that his experience with the Naval Academy can transform to his talent on the court?
Well, I think it's a matter of leadership. You're being trained to be a leader, Chris. And as a point guard, that's what you, as you were, that's what you want to be.
No question about it. I love it, Trey. I love dreaming big, big aspirations. Ideally, you and I talked about this off camera. On the basketball court, a lot of things translate into life. As a point guard, as a leader, definitely translate into a lot of different things. Wish the best for the young man.
By the way, Broadnax is one of only 2 players in the American averaging 13.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. The other being UAB's Yaxel Lendeborg.
Well, right now, I think he has a aspiring basketball career. 6'4" point guard, handles the ball well, uses his size, can shoot it. I can see him playing at the next level, if not at the NBA, possibly overseas.
Both teams shooting 4 of 6 from the field so far, and 1 of 2 from 3.
Interesting basketball game, Frank, coming into this one. When you look at both of these teams, a couple of plays, different stretches in games where if they make some different decisions, the outcome would be different.
Jimmy Oladokun Jr., wearing number 24, in for Rice. And for Florida Atlantic, Nico Moretti and Matas Bokatitis are in the game. Broadnax is short, but the rebound comes out to him. Corner jumper is short, and the rebound to Leland Walker. Bokatitis, his first touch. Moretti. On the pick and roll, Bokatitis can't finish.
Excellent pocket pass by Nico. Big fella needs to finish that with a dunk.
Akuche. This is Oladokun. Emery Lanier, who missed that last corner jumper. Broadnax still fire from 3 and hit.
Good looking jumper there by Trey. Had his hands and feet ready. Knocked down the jumper. So important as a shooter, those two components.
3-point lead for Rice. Moretti finds Carroll. His corner triple is on target.
Talk to me, Trey. Once again, Trey does so many different things. He can work in the paint. That time, stepping out, knocking down the long J.
Second triple for Florida Atlantic here in the first half. Kuche on the backdoor cut. Kusanevich misses. And the rebound to Vojkatitis. Out of bounds, last touch by Rice.
Really good job here. Off that screen and roll action, getting you too far in the paint. Carroll able to knock down the 3-ball. Good lefty touch.
Number 11, Aaron Powell, freshman from Los Angeles, into the game for Rice, giving Broadnax a breather. And also Denver Anglin, wearing number 4, in for the Owls from Houston. Pass down low to Vojkatitis was mishandled. Turnover gives it back to Rice. Akuche runs over, count it, and one as he ran over Moretti.
Thought Nico was there, but excellent job playing through the contact. Looking at the and one, Nico not set. Good job using that shoulder. Again, putting that ball up on the glass, looking for the and one.
First foul on Moretti. Andrew Akuche has a connection to Florida Atlantic. His brother, Matthew, played football as a walk-on wide receiver here a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Subsequently went to Towson State and last year at William & Mary. And there's another brother, Michael, who played basketball at Youngstown State. He's from Fort Lauderdale.
Can he play football? That's the question, Frank.
Well, he's 6'11", so.
Listen, Frank, you have a
wide receiver.
Where can we put him? Wide receiver? How about a defensive end?
Okay. Rice back up by 3. Evans. Vojkatitis. Baba Miller draws a quick double team. Owls swing it to Evans. Corner jumper is no good. Rebound loose though, picked up by Baba Miller. Miller threw it away. Intercepted by Lanier. Anglin fires a triple. Rebound, offensive rebounding. That's where Florida Atlantic has gotten hurt. Lanier's 3 again won't go, and Vojkatitis rebounds. John Jacobs said the Owls absolutely have to keep these teams off the offensive glass.
Frank, you make a great point. Again, they send 4 to the glass. Strong screen there. Because they play such good defense, man-to-man defense, meaning this Rice basketball team, they're going to fight over every screen. Back to rebounding. They send 4 to the glass. They're looking to score buckets off of missed shots. In that case, if you're FAU, you control the glass, you'll be able to get out and get some transition opportunities if they have 4 going all the time.
Vojkatitis called for the illegal screen, and he immediately takes a seat on the bench, and Trey Carroll's back in. Anglin, another 3 is good.
That one's too easy, Frank. He has shot the ball right from that spot previously, and if you're a shooter, you want that same shot again to look it right down.
Biggest lead for Rice, they're up 6, thanks to their 3-point shooting. Florida Atlantic has the worst 3-point defense in the league percentage-wise, giving up 39%. That has been an issue. Miller cut off on the drive. 7 to shoot. Evans, corner 3. No good. Carroll fouled on the rebound.
And that's great work by Trey Carroll on the offensive glass. When you have a mismatch, a smaller guard trying to guard you, you want to go to the glass. Good ball movement, has shot the ball from that spot previously. That time right on the money.
18-12 is the score with Rice up 6. You see the foul there on Denver Anglin, rather Rob Lanier. Emery Lanier, excuse me.
That's a solid sell by Trey also.
Rob Lanier is the coach. Emery Lanier is the player. Under pressure, a Miller 3, no good. Rebound to Olatakun off the floor. And the net to our right was kind of caught up under the rim, so the officials stopped play to make sure that gets straightened out and doesn't affect any shot that Rice would put up there.
A little tangled up. I was going to ask you to go out there when they were on the other end and fix that, Frank, but they took care of it.
That would be your job at your height. Powell is fouled by Evans. First on Evans, just the third on Florida Atlantic here in the first half. Anglin. Powell launches a three and hits. Rice is on fire from downtown.
And that's a long-range bomb there. Good knockdown. Again, hands and feet ready, locked and loaded.
And just like that, Rice up 9. Florida Atlantic needs a basket. Carroll finds Miller. Double teamed on the drive. Moretti with 10 to shoot. Nico takes the bump and scores. He was looking for a foul, no call.
Okay, that's a tough shot by Nico. Didn't see much there, however, knocks down the shot. Good look.
7-point game. Anglin on the drive. His pass goes out of bounds. It was behind Olatakun. And we have a timeout on the floor. 11:09 left to go first half. Rice with some hot three-point shooting. They've knocked down 4 triples in the first 9 minutes. They lead it 21-14 here in Boca. $11:09 to go first half here in Boca Raton on this Sunday afternoon, and Rice with 4 threes already made. Chris, they average making 6.8 threes a game. They've already knocked down 4 in the first 9 minutes.
Well, they've done a really good job. Dribble drive action, getting into the lane. The FAU defense well aware of that. Kicking the ball out, shooters ready to shoot the basketball. As I stated, hands and feet ready. So big. And again, these have been long jump shots. They haven't been right at the three-point line, so you have to go out and contest.
Look at Rob Lanier in his first season with Rice. 10th overall as a college head coach. 2-time tournament champion, one at Siena, one at Georgia State. Of course, his most recent job was at SMU before going from Dallas to Houston to coach the Owls of Rice in the American Athletic.
Big fan of Coach Lanier, known from his Siena days. He's one of those guys who knows how to win, build a program, and it starts with defense.
Leland Walker running the point for Florida Atlantic. Tandy. Carroll, no foul. Ball stays with Florida Atlantic.
Excellent set coming out of that timeout. Looks like Trey lost the handle on it, but he got a touch right at the rim.
Owls inbound with 14 to shoot. Into Baba Miller. Against 2 Rice players, had his shot blocked. Nice play by Dar defensively. Baba goes back up.
Baba with the power move. Again, a little light in the seat, but you love that he stayed with it, Frank.
Makes it a 5-point game. Trey Broadnack's back in for Rice. Broadnack's fouled by Evans. See now, here's what I'm going to say. That was a foul, but we've seen a lot of contact at the rim that's not been called.
Similar
As a player, Chris, what does that do to you?
Excellent observation, Frank. As a player, you have to play through it. You know Broadnack likes to use his body. Big guard, he wants to post up. So you have to understand the scouting report. The officials know what goes on too. But Coach Jacobs is right on top of it.
Yeah, that's what he's questioning. I'm sure, I can't read lips, but I'm sure that's what he's questioning. You're calling that foul, which was basically a touch foul, and big contact at the other end, and you're not calling it. Dar finds Powell for 3. Rather, it's Anglin. Denver Anglin with a 5th triple this half for Rice.
Good knockdown on the baseline, straight up and straight down with the jumper.
Anglin, the second most prolific three-point shooter for Rice. Here's Tandy for three, spins in and out. Broadnax, good feed to Caden Powell, knocked away. On the floor, Tandy has it, tie up, jump ball belongs to Florida Atlantic.
Excellent no-look pass in transition. Caleb with the quick hands. That could have been a Sports Center play. But again, you have to get back in transition and locate for both teams and communicate, Frank. You can't just run back and not say anything. You have to talk.
Walker gets into the paint. Baba Miller. He drives. Layup is no good. And a foul on the rebound. It'll stay at this end. That'll go against Caden Powell.
That's a tough shot by Baba. Again, look at Big Trey going into the glass there. This is a physical basketball game. These are the type of games where, again, you can't complain. You have to match physicality either way.
Baba Miller and Jacob Dar doing a little, what'll I call that, a tango?
Case in point right here. There's a space that belongs to Baba, and he's making it clear.
Tandy off the inbound. Carroll finds Tandy. Kiki into the lane, had it knocked away on the way up and gets it back to the score.
Stay with it, Kiki. Again, Kiki's an outside shooter. Jumper not going down, get to the cup.
6-point lead again for Rice. Broadnax trying to back in against Caleb Glenn. Fadeaway jumper is good.
Frank, that's super tough. You love the pace. He sees no double team, gets right to his sweet spot.
Rice hot shooting continues. Walker picked up the dribble. Caleb Glenn. Back to Walker. 7 to shoot. Walker, step back jumper, rolls out. Caleb Glenn saves it inbounds. And now out of bounds off the Rice player. Good play by Glenn.
Excellent hustle by Caleb going after that. But again, take a look at this here. Look how slow. He's patient. No double team. This is exactly what I want, Frank. In the lane, 2 feet, I'm either going to score this or get fouled, and I'll take the deuce.
That is the beauty of a 6'4" point guard.
In the open, big 6'4" guard. Again, I was a 6'4" guard, played small. I didn't do a lot of posting up, but again, Trey understands how to use his size, which is a great look.
Matas Boykatitis back in for Florida Atlantic, replacing Baba Miller as FAU trails by 8. 8:45 to go first half. Tandy off the inbound, corner three. If it's three, it's me, Kiki.
Ooh, that's a tough shot, Frank. The step back into the jumper.
Broadnax with 8.5 to go in the first half. Powell on the kick out. Usinovic is good.
That's a good kick out. Initially, I was going to say Powell didn't recognize he had the mismatch. Had Leland on him, he should have went to the bucket. However, this day and age, you get that ball in the post, kick it out, knock down the 3 ball.
Second three for Usinovic, and the 7th by Rice this half. Titus Matas on the slam dunk.
Throw it down, big fella, throw it down.
Powell on the handoff to Anglin. Powell again. Jacob Dar, he'll try from 3. That's way off. And a foul against Broadnax for pushing Caleb Glenn out of bounds. We'll have a timeout on the floor. 7:40 left to go first half. Rice with a 6-point lead as the visitors from Houston have knocked down 7 triples so far in the first half. Matas Boykatitis responds with the slam.
A university at the forefront of innovation. A place of natural beauty where learning has no limits. Forging a path through an ever-changing world and raising the bar of what is possible. This is Florida Atlantic. your future waits.
There's only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, we will. It's what separates us from the rest.
Can you believe it?
There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
.740 to go first half in Boca Raton in this American Athletic Conference Battle of the Owls. Rice leads at 29-23. First season under Rob Lanier as the head coach, and they've already matched last year's victory total. And let me correct myself, they've knocked down, Rice has 6 threes in this first half.
Okay.
But shooting right at 55% from 3.
No question, the 3 ball is so important in today's game. Rice taking advantage of good looks. But when you talk about Coach Lanier, he's a winner, and it starts with defense. Big fan of both of these coaches. Coach Jacobs understands the process with his club. Coach Lanier, the same deal, but the principles are very similar. I love the faith-based coaching. We touched on it at our call. Both of these guys understand what it takes to win and go to the next level on and off the court.
We're having a little issue with our stat broadcast system. It just updated. And 50% from Rice at the three-point line as they've made 6 out of 12. Titus down low. Here comes the double team. He finds Carroll, but the pass was a little bit low and off his knee.
Not great spacing there. Pass had a little bit too much mustard on it. You love what Trey's telling big fella, put it up high for me so I can dunk it home.
Aaron Powell around to Caden Powell's screen. Caden with the finish.
Montas timing just a tad off. Thought he was going to deflect that pass.
Lead back up to 8. And Florida Atlantic continues to struggle making stops at the defensive end. That's been an issue in American Conference play. Trey Carroll, lock and load 3, no good. Caden Powell rebound off the deck. Jacob Dar, Akuche, and they left player alone underneath Powell, Aaron Powell, and that's a goaltend.
Miscommunication on the defensive end. Both players go with the shooter and the cutter to the basket wide open.
Aaron Powell, who averages 1.6 per game, points-wise, now has 5 here in the first half for Rice.
Again, communication is so big on the defensive end, Frank. Would never say I was a good defender. However, I could talk. My 2 favorite phrases, switch and help. In this case here, you have to let your teammates know I got the outside, you take the inside. Communication helps out tremendously.
13 of 21 from the field for Rice. You can't win playing that kind of defense. Walker inside, blocked by Akuche. It'll stay with Florida Atlantic.
Leland has to understand when he goes that deep into the paint, the trees are in there. He's only 6'1", and that's being generous.
And Walker in conference play has struggled shooting the ball, just 28% in 5 conference games. Here's Baba taking it to the glass.
Great job. I love that set there. You got Baba in scoring position off the catch. Only has to put it on the floor 1 time.
Aaron Powell, 3 out of the corner, and Rice just can't miss from 3.
Again, too easy, Frank. You got to be able to deny that catch.
8 points for Aaron Powell, who averages less than 2 a game. Biggest lead of the day for Rice. Walker will try from 3. That's no good. Titus touched it last. It'll go to Rice.
Take a look at this, Frank, again, in the corner area. You got to be able to get to that contest or deny the pass, especially as a hot shooter, but a great knockdown.
So Rice continuing to fire from 3. 13 of their 22 shots have been from beyond the arc, and they've hit 7 at 54%.
again, the best way to explain it, Frank, once you're in a rhythm, once you're shooting the ball well, those shots become so much easier. To the average fan, it says, oh, you know what, that's a good contest. That's not a good contest because the rhythm is good. So you may have to deny the pass so it doesn't even get there because it's a quick shot now.
Let's check in with our sideline reporter this afternoon, Gabriella Hoagland.
Nicolo is hailing from Italy, where the rest of his family still resides. Speaking with him, he shared with me one of the biggest adjustments to moving to America has been the cultural difference of food. He said, I can't lie, it's been tough. I've always been one to struggle gaining weight. His favorite dish from home in Italy is carbonara, and the one dish he adopted in America has been mac and cheese. What authentic Italian dish do you guys wish you could try?
Let's see. Well, I just had Italian last night. I had the chicken parm. There's a kick on Baba Miller.
I'm a big pasta guy, love spaghetti and meatballs.
You go with the basics. You can't go wrong. I asked Nico one time, where's there better pizza, in America or Italy? He goes, come on.
Yeah, that's come on, Frank. You put him in a tough spot there. That's an easy one.
Rice with an 11-point lead and the basketball. Florida Atlantic trying to extend the defense. Lanier, mid-range jumper is short. Titus with the rebound, takes a slap in the face. Again, nothing called. Leland Walker finds Evans. Evans double team. Pass down low, knocked away. Evans got it to Titus. Titus for Baba, intercepted by Dar.
This Rice team flies around defensively.
Going the other way, Walker, as we go up and down. Walker's pass off a foot. Kicking violation. It'll stay with Florida Atlantic.
Back and forth, frenetic pace there. Excellent job in the post, deflecting that basketball. Matos comes up with it. Again, look how Rice flies around defensively with a good job here by FAU getting back, coming back on the other end. Look how quickly Rice gets back on this one, Frank, and deflects it out.
Well, gotten a little ragged here in the last minute. Miller off the inbound. And a whistle by our official on the far side, Orlandis Poole, indicating a foul against Rice.
And this is the type of game, Frank, when you have an open shot, it's in your best interest to take the shot because the defense is in recovery mode and you may not get that shot again.
Caden Powell out with his second foul. Tandy, guarded by Akuche. Rice is quick to send two guys on the ball, but they leave Tandy alone, and the triple is good.
Excellent recognition by Nico. Rather than swinging the basketball to the other side, coming back to Tandy, and he knocks down the three ball.
A much-needed three for Florida Atlantic, second by Tandy this afternoon. Oladipoon on the drive, blocked by Carroll, but there was a foul on the way in.
And this ball goes right back to Tandy, and he's ready to shoot it, and he nails it, and it's great for him to see that ball go down. He's one of those shooters, once he gets into a rhythm, everything looks like it's going in.
Baba Miller called for the foul, his second. And Rice, Oladipoon will get a free throw, missed the first one. Rice averages 25 foul shots per game. That's top 15 in the country.
Well, they do a really good job crashing the glass, physical basketball team, so you understand why they get to do a good job getting to the line.
Oladipoon 0 of 2, and Tandy misses on the rebound. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in this first half. Florida Atlantic's had one lead at 7-6. Trey Carroll hooks the pass to Moretti. The three ball is too long. Baba Miller with the rebound. Crossover dribble, got into the paint, was fouled.
Frank, even on the miss from Nico, that was a beautiful pass by Trey.
We'll take a timeout. 3:52 left to go first half here in Boca Raton. Rice leading Florida Atlantic 36-28. 3:52 to go first half here in Boca Raton, Florida. Florida Atlantic trailing Rice 36-28 in this battle of the Owls, as Rice is absolutely shooting the lights out today. They're at 60.9%. New to the borough. 10 new players on Florida Atlantic's roster this year. And Chris, we were talking before the game. I think a lot of FAU fans are disappointed in 9-9 at this stage of the season. But it was such a high bar the last 2 years.
Yes.
And with a new coach and 10 new players, I feel that it was I think maybe losing sight of the fact that this is going to be a transitional year.
In fairness to this group here, the bar has been set high. Obviously, when you bring in so many new players, new coach, new system, chemistry, cohesiveness is so important, and you're seeing the changes being made as the season progresses. And this Owls team will be really good before it's all said and done.
Down 8 here in the first half. Moretti cut off, finds Trey Carroll, forces his way up and in.
Good, strong move there by Trey to finish. You love the sets coming out of timeouts, and that's a sign of this team on the upswing.
Angling in the corner. Now Broadnax. Under 3.5 to go first half. Rice's largest lead has been 11. Ladakun looking for options. Broadnax with 5 to shoot. Broadnax working against Caleb Glenn. Forced jumper, no good. Rebound batted off the glass. Follow-up is no good by Ladakun, and another rebound by Akuche, but he had it stolen by Moretti. Moretti fouled on the way up the floor.
Frank, this Rice team, they crashed the glass so hard, but that's a good battle by Nico coming up. But look at this. You go for one rebound. Again, be strong with it underneath the paint. Probably didn't need the bounce. Then you come up with another one. Nico doesn't give up on it, comes out with the basketball. So you have to be physical against this Rice basketball team on the glass.
Florida Atlantic actually with more offensive rebounds, 8-5, as Nico Moretti will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Foul on Akuche was his second.
And it's good for a guy like Nico to get to the free throw line, see the ball, go through the basket. It'll help his outside shooting, preferably a 3-ball also.
Jacob Dar back in, replacing Andrew Akuche.
Rice is one of those teams, if you don't match or trump their intensity, they will make you look bad.
Moretti knocks down both. He's got 4. And it's a 4-point game. Leland Walker back in, Moretti out for Florida Atlantic.
And this is a good look here, Frank. This 1-3-1 with Baba at the top with his length, athleticism, and when it gets below the free throw line, it looks like it turns into a man-to-man.
Now back into the man-to-man, as you indicated, Chris. Broadnax picked up by Carroll on a switch. Broadnax got away with a walk. Dar fires a 3, and the 8th triple of this first half for Rice.
Dribble drive action. Looks like Broadnax did travel once he got into the lane area. However, 3-point shot goes down because of the dribble drive action.
Walker to Carroll. Trey trying to back his way in. Leland Walker tried to find Carroll and did, count it, and won.
Good things happen when you can get into the lane, Frank. Leland Walker again, strong with the basketball. He gets it over to Trey. I love this screen and roll set there. Goes to a good spot where he's able to finish, plays through the contact, looking for an and one.
Denver Anglin picked up the foul. Let's take a look at Broadnax. Did he get away with a walk there, or did he keep the pivot?
I think he kept the pivot. We got to give him an apology on that one. He got into that lane strong. We talked about him being physical at 6'4", able to keep the pivot. Good pass outside to knock down the 3.
Carroll cannot complete the 3-point play. He stays at 9. Anglin dribbled it off his foot, but recovered by Broadnax. Under 2 to go first half. 5-point game. Rice in the lead. Broadnax picked up by Carroll. Ladakun blocked by Carroll, but a foul. And John Jacobs can't believe it.
Wow. Again, you have to give credit to Trey Broadnax. Again, gets himself in that post area against Trey. You would think he'll pick it up early, but very patient. Again, using that pivot, finds the open man right into the lane area, and good things always happen when the bigs get 2 feet in the lane.
Following on Caleb Glenn. And Oladipo knocks down the first free throw. Short on the second, Baba Miller rebound. Carroll, good handoff, Walker layup.
Really good job by Trey Carroll running the floor. He beat the bigs down. No communication from Rice.
Oladipo against Carroll. Forces up the shot, no good. One-hand rebound by Baba Miller. Baba in transition, doesn't have the numbers. Tandy for three, short. And a foul on Carroll going for the rebound.
Even with the miss, Frank, that's a shot Tandy has to take, step into it, shoot it with confidence. But again, here's where Carroll beats everybody down the floor. Him being a facilitator gets it back to Leland, who just, congratulations, joined the 1,000-point career club. And I like the Caesar haircut. He's went low like me, Frank.
He did. By the way, John Jacobs in our call yesterday mentioned that in the Owls' last game, they missed 11 open threes and passed up some other uncontested shots.
And the issue I have is the pass up. You can miss, but don't pass up good shots.
Oladipo for 1 and 1, hits the first. Oladipo, 6'9" sophomore from Los Angeles.
Love the work he's doing, earning free throws.
Short on the second, 1 out of 2 again, and Baba Miller pulls down another rebound. 5-point game.
He's leaving a lot of change on the table with those misses.
A minute to go in the first half. Tandy on the drive, off glass.
Really good set. They ran that very crisp. And Tandy, good decision coming off the screen from Trey.
3-point game. Broadnax against Walker. Anglin on the drive. Good feed, but the ball knocked out of Oladipo's hands and a foul call. Trey Carroll called for the foul, his second.
Oladipo at the line once again. Right place, right time, but he understands when the guards drive, go to the front of the rim.
Oladipo 2 for 6 at the line today. 42% on the season.
His mechanics look really good, Frank. Maybe needs a little bit more legs flat on a couple of the misses.
Four points for Oladipo today, all at the strike. 5-point game with 30 seconds left. About a 4-second differential game and shot clock. Walker with 10. Baba Miller. Little short jumper is short. And a timeout called by Rice with 6.7 to go.
Beautiful set there, Frank. Baba comes into the lane area, off balance. You want him to go straight up and straight down. He was leaning.
Baba Miller 3 for 7.
You love that he gets into the lane area, again, but he's not on balance. You'd like him to go straight up and down with his side. No one's going to block his shot, but he leans back, comes up short.
Miller over his last 10 games, averaging 12.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks.
Again, Baba's talent alone is going to score the basketball. You and I have discussed at some point he's a 15-plus point scorer in this league. Would love to see him to be a little bit more aggressive where he's not taking over, but just naturally, and his team feeds off of him.
At Tulane on Wednesday, he took just 5 shots.
And honestly, eye test, outside looking in, he has to have more touches, more shots than 5. Because of his talent level, just in transition, he should be able to take 5 shots, let alone set plays called for him.
6.7 seconds left for Rice. Plenty of time to find a shot. Broadnax on the drive. The floater is no good, tipped up, and that will not count. Broadnax asking for a foul. Olandis Poole, our referee, said nothing there, walked to the locker room, and the first half is over here in Boca. A hot shooting first half for the Owls from Houston, 53.6%, as they made 15 of 28 from the floor, 8 of 15 from 3, also over 50%. So that's why they are in the position they're in, leading by 5 here at the first half. Let's check in with Gabriella.
I'm here with Coach. That was a fight of the first half. Take me through what you think you did well and what we would like to improve in the second half.
We just got to, defensively, we got to take it up a notch. Just too many hiccups on defense, but the spirit is there. Just we got to take it to another level.
Of course. Good luck in the second half. I'll see you when you come back.
Rice knocking down 8 triples in the first half. John Jacobs' team continues to struggle at the defensive end, but still a 5-point game, 43-38, Rice leading here at the half.
Moretti steals the inbound. Moretti leading a 2-on-1. Moretti stepped through in the lane. Layup good, and he's fouled. Off the window, Moretti hits the 2.
Growing up in Italy, your dad was a professional player. So were you always involved in basketball, or did you play some other sports as well?
No, I was very involved in basketball. When I was born, my dad was mainly a coach, and I was just watching my brother play. I tried to play soccer, but it was a little too cold for me, so I switched back to basketball. But yeah, my main influences back to this day are just my dad and my brother as well.
Your brother David played at Texas Tech and played in a national championship game, I believe. So did he sort of pave the way for you to come over to the U.S.?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't really aware of what type of work was here, until he got here, and he kind of showed me a little bit the facilities and the work ethic that every school has, and I just fell in love with it. I spent my senior year of high school in Daytona Beach, here in Florida, and then I transferred to the NBA Academy in Australia before committing to Illinois I think 2 seasons ago. And then I decided to transfer the past summer, and then now I'm here.
You've seen a lot of the world at a pretty young age, haven't you?
I don't want to say thrown out of my house early, but I went to play in second division when I was really young, at 16. So I was really early without my parents, and I think that kind of make me grow a little earlier than everybody else, so it's definitely helped me.
Girl leads a 3-on-2, bounce past Moretti, who's fouled, scored, at the 2 will go for 3, makes it with a right hand.
Illinois, obviously, good basketball team. You averaged about 5 minutes a game. Were you just looking for an expanded opportunity, a chance to be on the floor more?
Yeah, that's what you're aiming for, that's what you work for and what you're inspired every day to do, especially in a big university as Illinois, having a big culture. But I have a little bit of struggles. I had an injury last year that kind of threw me off my path, but I'm super glad and blessed to be a part of such a group.
The transition here to Florida Atlantic has seemed pretty seamless for you. Are you enjoying the way things are going?
I really like it here. I think it's very different, but I just like the way, the approach the coach has with us and the style of playing basketball, and I think the community is just very passionate as well, so it's just been good.
How would you describe your style of play?
I think very generous, I would say. I think to be able to spread out and create chances for my teammates, I have to create it for my own first. But yeah, I just like seeing my teammates score and do well. It just I wouldn't say it just makes me happy. I don't know. When we go back home, the only thing we talk about is basketball. Either it's the past games or what's happening lately. It just have been the main topic my whole life. So I just experienced watching the game in a different way than every other kid just watch the game, you know. So you just pick up fast and learn faster than everybody else. So I think that helped me throughout my career.
Back at halftime, Rice leading Florida Atlantic 43-38 in this Battle of the Owls on a Sunday afternoon in Boca Raton. Frank Fort alongside Chris Williams. And Chris, interesting first half. Rice's three-point shooting, the difference in the game. They've made 8 of 15. Florida Atlantic 4 of 13. And for Rice, their top three-point shooter, Alem Husejnovic, had a couple of triples. And they're, from distance, they're just finding open shots.
No question. Well, again, you know this is a physical basketball team. However, he stretches the floor. Again, when he knocks down that three ball, you know he's looking to shoot it. Great stroke. Top of the key area, gets it going. Downtown, strokes it all bottom. Everything that they do, he compliments because he knocks down the three, and it becomes contagious, and everybody else starts to shoot the ball well also.
The man with the intriguing skill set at 6'11", Baba Miller, 3 of 7, 6.7 rebounds and a block in the first half.
Look, and you know Baba can stuff a stat sheet. He can do that with his talent alone. You like him shooting the basketball close to the rim where he gets high percentage shots, where he doesn't always have to take long-range shots. But if you get the ball in his hands, good things happen.
Well, you can see the field goal percentages for both teams are good. Exceptional for Rice.
No question. Rice, because they play so hard, they're physical, you have to match that. I think FAU did it to a certain extent, but there were stretches where Rice was all over the place, shot the ball really well, got it into the lane a little bit too much, I believe, for my liking and Coach Jacobs.
I think Coach Jacobs will like the fact that they've only given up 3 second chance points, because that was a big concern going into this game.
No question, because they crashed 4, they're looking to score the basketball off the glass. Now, the one area where FAU usually stands out, bench points, Frank. Again, they're outscored 18-6. That's an area where their bench, their second unit, usually outscores most teams.
For Rice, Aaron Powell, part of that second unit, averaging under 2 points a game, has 8 in the first half, including a pair of triples, and Rice leads it by 5. We'll be back with more and get ready for the second half right after this from Boca Raton. All right, as we get ready to start half number 2, let's check in with Gabriella with John Jacobs.
Coach, that was a quick comeback in the first half. What's the game plan for the second half?
Probably give up less threes. The 8 of 15 wasn't great for us. Then besides that, we just got to get a little better shot selection.
What are we going to do defensively in the second half? What did we talk about in the locker room?
I mean, take away some threes and then box out after.
There we go. Good luck.
Thanks, Gabriella. Chris, you know, that's the point. You're the worst team in the American Conference in terms of three-point percentage defense. What do you do, and if you do that, are you giving up something else?
Well, when you play good basketball teams, you're always going to give up something, but you want to give up the lesser of the two evils. My math, if it's correct, 3 is more than 2. You take away the 3, you may give up a 2, but you want to be a hard contest. Early in that first half, the 3s were coming too easy. You start to get into a rhythm. Even if you're not a good shooter, you feel good about shooting the basketball. But again, with that being said, some of those shots you want to probably deny. Don't allow them to get into the rhythm. Make them make tough 2s if possible.
They can't shoot it if they can't get the ball.
There you go. There you go, Frank. Smart man.
So they got to deny some of those passes. Rice will have the basketball to open half number 2. Andrew Akuche right in front of us. We'll bring it in. And a near steal by Walker. And he's asking for a replay. He thought it went off Broadnax.
Like the hustle by Walker. Again, Trey just a little bit nonchalant when that ball came into him.
Again, Walker nearly forcing the turnover. And they just do get it over the timeline.
Walker looking for a 10-second violation. I'm sorry, 8. Is it 10 or 8 here? It's 10 with the college guys, 8 with the pros.
Hayden Powell down low, blocked by Miller, but a goaltend.
Baba just a tad late with the help side defense. Ball was on his way down.
Rice gets a bucket to open the second half. The lead at 7. Their biggest has been 11. Ken Evans scoreless in the first half. Florida Atlantic would like to get him on the board. Trey Carroll, lock and load triple, spins out.
He touched all of the rim and it came out on Trey.
Florida Atlantic now 4 for 14 from 3. They're going to have to shoot it better against this Rice team. Dar out of the corner nails another triple.
Too easy once again. That's a catch and shoot. That's a muscle memory shot. That ball gets right in his hands. Quick release.
First 5 points of the second half to Rice. Walker on a drive was fouled by Broadnax.
Strong take there by leaning to the basket. But again, look how quick the release is. Because he's in a nice rhythm, that's nothing but bottom, Frank.
Jacob Dar, who got the start today in place of Kellen Amos, who did not make the trip. Well, Dar has done his job. He's got 8 points.
No question, making the most of his minutes. When you have an opportunity, you want to seize it.
Walker short on the free throw. Dar had 11 and 6 on Wednesday night against UTSA in what was a Rice loss.
In that loss, they came back from down 17 to put themselves in position to win.
1 of 2 for Leland Walker at the line. He's got 8. First point of the second half for Florida Atlantic, and they just have to pick it up at the defensive end, Chris, if they want to have a shot at this game.
And I like Walker pressuring the basketball. I always tell small guards that one thing you have to do is be able to pressure the basketball.
Akuche down low, couldn't finish. Dar with a rebound. He spins it up and in.
Then Dar just going to work, knocks down the 3 in the corner, that time in the paint.
Ken Evans Jr. finds Carroll. Bobbles, got it back. Back to Evans and a foul by Akuche.
Take a look at Dar here. Previously, he had knocked down the 3. This time in the lane area, going to work. Good hustle to get the basketball. Nice scoop, good English on that.
Well, we mentioned second chance points, just 3 given up by Florida Atlantic, but that makes it 4 and 5 with that bucket by Dar. And Rice matching their biggest lead at 11 off the inbound. Baba Miller puts it up off the glass, no. And a foul on Miller on the rebound.
That's really good defense by Powell, making that shot tough on Baba. Baba gets that, has the double clutch because of the good defense, great rebound, and that's what they do well.
Miller picks up his second foul. Skip pass intercepted by Walker.
Thought they had some success with that in the first half.
Leland around a Carroll screen. He's fouled. Well, there are times when they've let a lot go today, and then there are times where they've, you know, I'm not saying that wasn't a foul. I believe it was, even though it's being questioned by Emery Lanier.
And when you have situations like that, Frank, you want to be aggressive to put the onus on the officials to make calls.
Carroll, foul line jumper, too strong. Hayden Powell rebounds for Rice. Just 1 point so far here in the second half for Florida Atlantic. Powell with skip pass. Dar, corner 3, and he gets the roll.
That's almost like target practice. He went from one corner to the other.
And a timeout for John Jacobs. Florida Atlantic just continues to struggle at the defensive end. They've got no answer for Rice. Right now, it's 53-39. The Owls from Houston leading by 14 here in Boca.
Be strong. and of good courage. President JFK challenged us to achieve what no one thought possible. Our commitment to excellence, to do the impossible, is made possible right here in Houston, Texas. This is our moment to prove that Rice fight never dies. Rice Hours. Let's fly.
There is only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, we will. It's what separates us from the rest.
Can you believe it?
There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Rice on a 10-1 run to open the second half. They lead Florida Atlantic by 14 here in Boca Raton. Trey Broadnax is the engine that drives the Rice bus, so to speak, Chris.
No question about it, Frank. You just asked me an interesting question off the air. Rice, are they making good decisions off the double team? Yes, indeed. It starts with Trey off the screen and roll action. Very crafty, understands where to pass the basketball. He gets it to Powell in the middle of the lane. Ideally, the FAU defense collapses. He makes a great pass to the corner. Decision-making process, the lesser of the two evil. We talked about at halftime. Ideally, I would like Powell to make a basketball decision. Don't take him off the hook so early where he can just make a pass to the corner and he's out of it. Put him in the lane. He decides what he needs to do. If he makes it too great, it's better than a three.
Nico Moretti and Caleb Glenn check in for Florida Atlantic, trying to stop the bleeding here in the second half. Glenn thought about a three, gets into the lane. Fadeaway jumper is off the front iron. Powell with the rebound.
You talked about Evans getting going. Glenn's another guy. You want to start getting him some touches. You want him to be a little bit more aggressive than he has been in the last couple of minutes.
Florida Atlantic 0 for 4 from the field here in the second half. Kusanovic short on a running jumper. Carroll away with the rebound. Carroll with the spin. The right hand can't finish. Florida Atlantic has a lid on here in the second half.
That's a beautiful move. Great spin, created space, couldn't finish.
Jacob Dar with 13 points in 18 minutes for Rice. Getting a start today. Broadnax fadeaway jumper is short. Kiki Tandy had it, lost it. It'll stay with Rice.
That's that extra effort by Rice.
Baba Miller back in for Trey Carroll in the Florida Atlantic lineup.
That's the quick hands. The ball goes off of Tandy's leg.
And when Rice is shooting like they are, you can't afford to give them extra possessions.
Not at all.
Emery Lanier guarded by Moretti. Powell over Moretti, no good though. And the rebound tipped out to Leland Walker. They got the mismatch, but Powell couldn't finish.
That's definitely one Powell would love to get back.
Glenn with the spin move and the left hand.
There you go, Caleb. Again, they're playing up close to him, trying to take away the three ball from him. He's strong enough, talented enough that he can get to the basket and finish.
First field goal for Glenn this afternoon, who averages 12. Miller with the block, but Caden Powell an offensive rebound. Kusanovic fires, no good. Caleb Glenn secures the rebound.
And these are the opportunities that FAU has to take advantage of. Look at the transition.
Leland Walker, tough layup over Powell. Broadnax threw it away. He thought Dar was going to stay in the corner and spot up for three. Instead, Jacob cut to the basket. Turnover gives it back to Florida Atlantic. With 14:59 to go in this one, Rice with a 12-point lead. Caleb Glenn with the Owls' first field goal of the second half. Rice up a dozen with just a tick under 15 minutes to go in this one. Let's check in with Gabriella Hoagland.
Baba's roots come from an international love story. When I got to speak with Baba, I heard about how his grandmother and grandfather met in Spain, but they're both originally from UK. His mother, his younger brother, and him have all been raised in Spain since then, becoming bilingual. But he told me his grandparents laughingly, when they speak fluent Spanish, they do it in a British accent. Could you guys imagine hearing fluent Spanish, but being done in a British accent?
That's a first for me. I've never heard of that.
No doubt about it. I would love to hear it.
Baba from Mallorca, Spain. Transfer from Florida State. Owls of Florida Atlantic, just 1 of 7 from the field here in the second half. And Rice 10-3 to start this second half. And they've stretched their lead back to a dozen.
That's that Rice tough defense at halftime. When Gabby spoke to Coach Lanier, as well as they shot the basketball, he made it clear there was some things on the defensive end he wasn't happy about.
There's Baba able to finish over Akuche.
Right on cue, Baba with the nice post-up. Coach Jacobs, again, after stoppages, after timeouts, calls some great sets to get these guys going.
8 points for Miller this afternoon. Stanovich picked up by Glenn. Powell, pull-up jumper, a foul. That'll go on Devin Vanderpool, fresh into the game, and Aaron Powell will go to the line.
Great position to start off the possession. He doesn't have to do much. 2 bounces right into a scoring position and the layup with the left.
Baba Miller at 6'11". As John Jacobs said, the big guy upstairs doesn't make many 6'11s. He makes even fewer who can dribble, pass, and shoot.
No doubt about it.
Well, Aaron Powell, who does not play a ton, has come off the bench today and made 9 points for Rice. And he's in double digits.
And Powell, another one of those guys, defensive intensity, shooting the basketball and scoring is a bonus, but he's taking advantage of his opportunity.
Lead back up to 12. Miller going to work again, but lost the handle on the way up. Emery Lanier bounces it down low. Akuche missed the layup, but a late foul call. That'll go on Baba Miller, and that's his third.
Dribble drive action, double team comes over. Baba late coming over to help out. Tough possession on both ends for FAU. Baba had a great post up, lost the handle. Now on the other end, called for the foul.
Andrew Akuche hits the free throw. He's got 4.
As concerned as we are with the three-point shooting, we talk about so many good looks for Rice. More concerning for me are the paint touches. They're getting into the lane so easy to get the ball out for the threes.
1 out of 2 for Akuche. 13-point lead for Rice. Walker, three-pointer. That won't go. Devin Vanderpool had a hand on the rebound, but it belongs to Rice.
Good hustle by Devin. He's come in to maybe be a spark to give some energy on the defensive end.
Rice trying to put some more distance between themselves and Florida Atlantic, looking to break a 3-game losing streak are the Rice Owls.
Right now, I'm not a huge fan of the body language of FAU. Another 3 right at the top of the key by Powell.
Aaron Powell's got 13. Biggest lead for Rice. Vanderpool trying to answer and does.
Big time answer there by Devin. At this stage, FAU just needs to get a couple of stops. One here would be great.
Anglin on the drive against Moretti. The running shot is way short. Moretti rebounds. Caleb Glenn puts on the brakes. Moretti on the drive. The scoop is good.
Tough shot by Nico, almost underneath the basket, but you have to get back in transition and locate.
Anglin. Try to pass in the paint. Knocked away by Leland Walker. Stolen by Moretti. Caleb Glenn on the drive. A foul. Blocking.
Good run here by FAU, but it all starts on the defensive end. Active hands getting out in transition. Again, Glenn, strong upper body, takes the contact, earns himself 2 free throws. Seeing the ball go to the basket may help the stroke on the outside, but they look like they're just trying to take everything away from Glenn, and he has to go to the cup.
Emory Lanier picks up his 3rd foul. Glenn rattles in the free throw. But just to go back for a second to Aaron Powell, who's got 13 this afternoon. 1 out of 2. Baba Miller with the rebound, can't finish. Rebound stays on the floor, picked up by Rice.
That's a hustle play there. You like to see FAU come up with that 50-50 basketball.
This is the first game in double figures for Aaron Powell this season. He scored, his high was 6 prior to this. Usunovic, pick and roll, Akuche, and a foul on Baba Miller.
Excellent pocket pass. Once again, ball in the lane, Frank.
11:56 left to go in this one. Rice with the big lead. We'll be right back in Boca Raton in just a moment. Aaron Powell, number 11, the freshman from Los Angeles. Boy, sometimes guys come out of nowhere in games, Chris. He had 28 total points coming into the game this season. He's got 13 today. He was 7 of 26 from 3, which is 27%. He's hit all 3 of his triples today.
He's got into a great rhythm. All these shots, nothing but net, no rim. Great day at the office for Aaron Powell.
I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card today. 13 points off the bench.
Well, check this out, Frank. He's one of those guys who screws up everything in the scouting report. Obviously, you go over everyone, but again, you're not expecting him to shoot the basketball like this, and Aaron throws a monkey wrench into the whole process when FAU is preparing.
Second half shooting, 4 of 13 Florida Atlantic, 5 of 12 for Rice. And three-point shooting on the day, Rice 11 of 19, that's 58%. Florida Atlantic at 31%, 5 of 16.
I'll go a step further with Aaron. You take a look at what he's done this afternoon. You talk to him or any of his boys back at home, they say, Aaron does this all the time. What are you talking about, Smooth and Frank?
Well, all we have to go on is his track record this season. And he's not done this before, but he has taken a big step today.
And the great thing about that, to be at this level, obviously you've done something well somewhere, and it just takes some confidence and an opportunity.
Titus can't finish at the rim, but he gets it back. Matas trying to back his way in, missed again. Matas duck under and finally slams it.
And I love the fans behind us, Frank. They said exactly what I was thinking. Dunk it, big fella, dunk it.
What you got to do when you're 7 feet. 4 points for Titus. Here's Aaron Powell. Usunovic with an air ball 3. Caleb Glenn with the flush.
Yes, sir. Transition opportunity. Starts with the rebound. Caleb gets out in front, dunks it home, gets the crowd back into it.
It's an 8-point game. Powell on the drive, able to finish at the rim. No help defense for Florida Atlantic.
Miscommunication. Again, Aaron's boys watching the game right now. We've been seeing that our entire lives.
Well, this is the first time he has showed this level in his college career. Titus with a couple of misses, but finally the duck under and a slam.
Good footwork, stayed with it. This time in transition, Caleb able to go up off of 2 feet. Strong finish with 2 hands.
But then they go at the other end, and you get beat on a dribble, which happens a lot, right? And there's nobody to help.
Said this in the first half, Frank, jokingly in jest. Again, not a great defender while I was a player, but able to communicate. Right there in that situation, someone has to say, I got ball, I got ball, I got ball, get this, get that. No communication in transition. That's when you have to talk, and that's so important.
Well, John Jacobs said it before the season. With this group, we'll be able to score. The question is, can we get enough stops at the defensive end? And so far, through 18 and basically three-quarters games, the answer has been mostly no.
And the small things that go a long way, communication, location, help a lot. When you're getting back in transition, you need to be pointing. You need to be getting back quickly and talking.
Moretti around the Boykatitis screen. Kiki Tandy. Glenn gives it up to Moretti. Moretti drives on Broadnax. He's cut off. Finds Glenn for a corner three. That's short. Florida Atlantic simply hasn't knocked down enough triples, which is a big part of their game plan to stick with Rice today.
Again, for a team that really enjoys shooting the three, you like to see them shoot at a higher percentage, but you want them to step up with more confidence.
Sinovich finds Broadnax for a three. That's well short. Moretti with the rebound off the bounce.
Nico's doing a really good job getting rebounds from the guard position.
Moretti thought about a three. Tandy, lock and load, triple on target.
Case in point, shooting the ball with confidence. Tandy, no hesitation, shoots that basketball, goes down. Again, the three ball and the dunk always gets your fans involved.
Down to 7, but the Owls of Florida Atlantic need a stop. They need multiple stops. 8 to shoot. Ustanovich, step back three, too long. Moretti taps the rebound, recovered by Tandy.
Have to give a lot of credit to Nico and Glenn for the box out. Looks like Nico may have hurt his ankle.
He's going to play through it, though. He's in some discomfort. Leland Walker gets right up off the bench. Moretti on the drive, was cut off, shovels to Boykatitis. Boykatitis forces it up over Powell and draws a foul.
Look at Nico battle, again, strong dribble drive action, gets the ball into the paint. Take a look at this here. Good rotation, goes over to Tandy. No hesitation, you know he's a shooter. He makes that shot, he's put the work in, take it.
So in American Conference play this year, in the 2 wins that Florida Atlantic's had, Tandy's 3 for 9 from 3. In the 3 losses, he's 6 for 19.
Shoot the basketball. Coach Jacobs made this clear to us in our conversation. Before the season is over, he believes Tandy will be shooting 40%. So he understands this young man can shoot the ball. I've seen Tandy after games come back out and shoot the basketball. Trust your work.
Boykatitis trying to cut it to 5. And does. Half a dozen today for Matas. 9 minutes to go, and it's a 5-point game, so Florida Atlantic's battle back. But again, at this end of the floor, they have to make some plays. Caden Powell finishes at the rim.
And I talked about decision making. Again, Powell got that ball in the lane, high percentage shot. Again, against some defense, in my opinion, you give up that 2 rather than the 3.
Walker trying to turn the corner. Tandy, 3 ball short. It'll go out of bounds and it'll belong to Rice. That would have been big, Chris, if they could have knocked that down.
No question. And plenty of fans should be questioning, well, Smooth, what do you mean you give up that 2? You don't give up an easy 2. Matos is in there. That's a tough shot over a 7-footer. If he gets over a little bit earlier, he possibly can block that shot or make it much more difficult for Powell. But again, because the 3 ball's been going down so easily, I would prefer a contested 2 than an easier 3.
8 points for Caden Powell this afternoon. Powell tried to draw a foul with the kicking motion. Boykatitis with the rebound. That was an NBA move, kicking out the right foot. Titus on the drive, bumps into Powell, and a charge.
Lowered that shoulder just a little bit more than usual. If he's up straight, I think he gets away with that. They call a block.
Vucinovic back in for Aaron Powell in the Rice lineup. Seven-point lead for Rice. Every time Florida Atlantic gets close, Rice has an answer. To shoot for Jacob Dar. Caden Powell fires a contested jumper. That's no good. Trey Carroll rebounds for Florida Atlantic.
Tough shot, good defense. Said it earlier. I like to see Powell make some basketball decisions.
Walker. Carroll feeds Titus. Back to Carroll. It's blocked by Akuche. Titus gets it back and a foul.
Beautiful help side defense by Akuche. Gets over and blocks that shot. That would have been a layup for Carroll.
7:10 left to go in this one at Florida Atlantic. Rice holding a 7-point lead here this afternoon in Boca Raton. This was halftime, the student dunk contest.
Hey.
How about that?
Okay, young fella getting up. Not bad, not bad.
That's a 9?
That's
okay.
A 9.
There was 5 contestants. They had to audition during the week.
Hey, okay.
Little 360 there. Only a 5 on that one?
Hey, it's tough judges.
Come on, man.
Tough judges.
So elsewhere in the American today, one other game going on. Temple, who knocked off Memphis the other night.
Yes.
They lead Tulane 66-57.
Okay.
Memphis will play Charlotte starting at 3 o'clock.
Okay, Temple Owls, Philly Love.
Here's our game summary. Aaron Powell coming out of basically nowhere today. 28 points. I don't mean to downplay the young man, but his track record says he had 28 points all season. He's got 15 today. Kiki Tandy leading Florida Atlantic with 13 on 5 of 8 shooting. But that 3-point, there's where the difference is, the 3-point shooting.
Well, Frank, you're on the money again. We're not saying Powell's not a good player. He's a Division I player. Not expected to do what he did today. But again, if I'm speaking for Aaron Powell, he says, I've been able to do this all along. I'm just looking for the opportunity. So he stepped up to the plate, and they've shot in the 3-ball, something you weren't expecting them to do also.
And I think I'm safe in saying this, when it comes to college basketball, expect the unexpected.
You are safe to say that you never know with the youngsters. You never know.
Yeah, we're still dealing with guys that are 18 to 23 for the most part, right?
Yes, indeed. I often joke, as a freshman, you never knew what I was thinking. I'm on the bench thinking about getting back to the dorm, opposed to what you're thinking as an adult.
I always say, with young people that age, they don't have consistency in their lives, let alone on the basketball court.
You got it, brother. So great job by Mr. Powell.
Freshman out of Los Angeles on the give and go, or pick and roll, I should say. The Walker pass hit the foot of a Rice player, and they called a kicking violation.
Again, Rice so solid defensively, nothing easy. In that screen and roll set, they fight so hard over the screen.
Walker gets it back from Titus. Trey Carroll working in on Akuche. Oh, left-hand shot is good.
Bully basketball, Bogart style. Trey able to get right to his soft spot. Got the left hand open, soft touch.
First basket of the second half for Carroll. He's got 11. 5-point game once again.
And you love the way FAU has battled back, and it all starts on this end.
4 to shoot. Broadnack's going to have to fire it up. No call at the buzzer, shot clock violation. Good play by Titus to go straight up and down, Chris, yes?
Excellent play by the big fella to go straight up and down, wall up, and the official not calling being baited. Take a look at it again. Again, big fella with the switch out. straight up and down. Arms maybe bent a little bit, but I give much more credit to the official for not making that call.
And Broadnax tried to draw it by putting the ball in the chest of Voikatitis. And again, a good job by the official as we have a foul away from the ball.
And Matos on the offensive end comes down, good solid post up. This is where FAU has to understand matchups, attention to detail. If the big fella's on the floor, he's usually going to get a mismatch where he can post up, look for him.
Caden Powell picks up the foul, his fourth. Emery Lanier back into the Rice lineup. Matos Voikatitis will go to the line for 1-1. In and out. And the lead remains 5. Those are opportunities missed. Broadnax against Tandy. Dar for 3. Good again, Jacob Dar.
And it all starts with Trey Broadnax because he's so cool and calm with the basketball. Puts you in a situation where everybody's ball watching. Beautiful pass, cross court.
Florida Atlantic's got it down to 5 a couple of times in the second half, and each time Rice has made a play at the offensive end. Trey Carroll with a little step through but can't finish at the rim. Florida Atlantic's had a lot of looks in the paint, Chris, but they haven't finished enough of them.
Too much English on that one from Trey, but solid defense from Rice.
Broadnax again trying to back in against Tandy. Fires over Kiki, spins in and out. Voikatitis on the rebound. Walker, 3 ball, too long. Kusanovic off the deck with the rebound. And with under 5 to go, it's an 8-point game. Broadnax, let's drive against Evans, dribbled it off his foot.
Really good defense. I like the matchup with Evans on Broadnax, strength on strength.
10th turnover today on Rice. Florida Atlantic only 6 turnovers today, Chris, so that hasn't been an issue.
Really good job protecting the basketball. You just like to see them take some higher percentage shots on the offensive end. And what I mean by that is when the shot presents itself against a good defense, take advantage of it.
So Moretti back in, along with Baba Miller. Caleb Glenn on the drive, foul.
That's a tough shot there by Caleb. Again, you have guys like Caleb, when he gets to the lane, he's so strong across the shoulders. He puts so much pressure on the defense. Once he gets into that lane area, it's hard for a defender to guard him.
Caleb Glenn at the line. Shooting a pair. 6 points for Caleb, who averages 12.1 a game to go along with 4.5 rebounds. Glenn short on the second. Stays a 7-point game. Broadnax fouled by Glenn. Hand check foul on the perimeter.
And the same thing I said about Caleb driving the basketball goes for Trey Broadnax because he's such a tough guard. 6'4", strong 6'4", able to get to certain spots, not deterred easily.
Well, the bench scoring has been lopsided in favor of Rice today between Aaron Powell and Jacob Dar. They have 31 points. Broadnax gets all the way to the rim, blocked by Carroll. Moretti, good feed, Glenn with the dunk.
Excellent job by Nico, keeping his balance and pivot foot available. Excellent pass and the dunk by Caleb, but it all starts defensively because Trey Carroll doesn't give up on the play.
4th assist from Moretti. And here it is, a 5-point game once again. 3:40 to go. Dar out of the corner. He has been absolute money today.
He's on fire.
4 3-pointers in the second half, 5 in the game for Jacob Dar. Moretti on the drive. Can't finish at the rim. Carroll puts it back in.
Great Carroll, right place, right time.
6-point game.
FAU needs a stop right here.
Vucinovic. Emery Lanier. Guarded by Carroll. 6 to shoot. Vucinovic finds Broadnax. The bank is no good. Jacob Dar blocked by Miller. Big play defensively by Baba. Trey Carroll fakes the 3. Goes into the lane. A blocking foul. He'll shoot 2.
Again, defensively, Frank, it gets started there. Help side, not giving up on the play, multiple effort. Big time up fake there by Trey. Gets into the lane. You'll be able to shoot 2 free throws coming out of this timeout.
2:35 left to go in this one. Rice with a 6-point lead in the Battle of the Owls. Jacob Dar, who got the start today for Rice in place of the injured Kellen Amos, with 19 points this afternoon. Chris, 5 out of 7 from 3.
He started off the game going to the cup hard. Again, moved out to the 3-point line. Getting that corner 3. It's called or said to be the easiest 3 to shoot because of the distance. He's knocked it down consistently this afternoon.
Okay, again, track record. Okay, let me emphasize this. Averaging 3.6 a game. He's had 2 double-figure scoring games this season. 19 today. He hit 11 triples on the year coming into today. He's got 5 today.
This is definitely an eye test game for Rice. Looking at stats doesn't tell you the entire story. The 2 players that jump off the page we just talked about, big time effort. When you have the opportunity, this is what college basketball is about.
When you talk about Jacob Dar and Aaron Powell,
yes,
combined, averaging a little under 6 points a game, those 2 have combined for 34 today.
Just think about if you're the coach for FAU, whose scout this was today, and you're going over those numbers consistently, you're over there pulling out your hair.
4-point game as Carroll hits 2. Florida Atlantic in the press. Dar, Caden Powell, short on the layup, rebound tipped out to Moretti.
Love it, Frank, I love it. Talked about guys making decisions. Again, that time Powell in the post. I like the contested 2 more than the easier 3.
Baba Miller backing in against Caden Powell. Pump faking and scoring.
Baba being strong in the post. Again, able to body up, use his leverage.
2-point game. Broadnax gets into the paint. Jacob Dar on the drive, tried to dunk and missed. Carroll with the rebound and a foul. And Rob Lanier holding his head in despair.
Wow. Dar, I like the decision to go to the cup. He goes in strong. Again, look how he comes in with 2 hands, looking for some contact. But again, I love the idea of taking a contested 2 rather than the easier 3, and FAU has made the adjustment.
Emery Lanier picked up the foul. That's his 5th, so he's out of the game. And Trey Carroll will go back to the line.
And guess who is in the middle of everything? Trey Carroll.
Well, we told you before the game, he started the last 4 games at the 5 spot, averaging 13.7 rebounds. Today he's got 16 points and 8 rebounds.
You and I talked about Carroll before the game. I'll be quiet as he shoots this next free throw.
Tie game.
Tie game. We talked about his energy. Unmatched. You would love a number of players that have that same energy. However, that's his skill set. And look at this building. It's totally alive now.
Florida Atlantic's come back from a 16-point deficit here in the second half. Broadnax against Moretti. Akuche. Broadnax with 7 to shoot. Mid-range jumper, good.
Super tough, able to get right to his spot. 6'4", strong. Closeout shot there with the shot clock going down.
First field goal of the second half for Broadnax. He's got 7 in the game. Miller draws an immediate double team. Caleb Glenn in the lane. Baba Miller for 3. No good. Rebound, Trey Carroll finds Glenn and lays it in.
Right now, both teams battling. FAU matching the intensity and physicality of Rice.
Broadnax guarded by Glenn. Another fadeaway jumper, not this time. Rebound, Baba Miller.
Love that matchup, Frank. Strength on strength.
Timeout, Florida Atlantic. 23.8 in the game, 24 on the shot clock. So Florida Atlantic can play for the last shot.
No question about it. Talk to me, Trey Carroll. He's telling the fans, get into it, give us some assists to close this ball game out. Again, on the glass, physical, beautiful pass. Caleb with the finish, but on the defensive end, more impressed. Caleb Glenn, talked about him, 6'7", 220. The matchup against Trey Broadnax. They've had a tough time with it because of their smaller guards. That time, able to body him up, make that shot much more difficult than it had been previously. And the possession right before that.
Right, where it was Moretti at 6'1", trying to keep Broadnax out of the paint, as opposed to Caleb Glenn at 6'7". So great point by you. The matchup favored Florida Atlantic in that case, on the miss the last trip down court.
Indeed.
Now, you've got 23.8 left. How far do you take it down?
You like to use as much as possible where you can at least get a rebound and put back. So that should put it where if Rice does get the basketball, you're looking at single-digit seconds.
Right, okay.
The official's right on top of that, Frank.
Yeah.
Share with us, please.
Steve Van Anderson, our official, came over. He says the shot clock says 24, but because there's 23.8, it's essentially the same. For all intents and purposes, it's exactly the same.
Which goes right back to what I was discussing. You want to leave enough time to possibly get a rebound put back, but you don't want to have enough time for Rice to really get a good shot. In this case here, keep in mind, FAU has been running amazing sets coming out of timeouts and stoppages of play. So I would like to see something in the paint where some sort of crossing action where Carroll or Baba Miller get the ball in scoring position where they don't have to put it on the floor more than twice.
You anticipated my next question. They've been going in the post to Baba Miller. Is that where you go to if you're John Jacobs?
Well, again, if we understand that Rice is looking for that, and I know Coach Jacobs is sharper than myself, if that's the case, there's going to be a counter, but I'm looking for the ball to be close to the paint, if not in the paint.
So 23.8 on the game clock. Florida Atlantic in a tie game, 73 all. They've come back from a 16-point deficit here in the second half. Can they close, which has been a problem? Nico Moretti just dribbling it down. 7 seconds left. Baba Miller tied up as he gets into the paint. Jump ball, possession arrow, Florida Atlantic.
Wow, that's a close one. I thought it was more arm than basketball.
Did they wait too long because it was down to 7 before they started their offense, essentially?
Well, initially, no. However, it looks like Baba was going to the basket to put some pressure on the defense and the officials. Excellent job by Rice to put both hands on the basketball. Worst case scenario, the game goes into overtime. 3 seconds left, which is plenty of time. Catch, make a move, and shoot.
3.1 on the clock. Florida Atlantic will inbound on the baseline. Now, their favorite play off the inbound is spread everybody out and Baba Miller right at the edge of the restricted area, and they lob it into him. So if you're Rice, you've got to take that away, don't you?
Well, again, you're going to put a lot of ball pressure on the inbounder, so it's not an easy pass. However, you love the length of Baba. If you can get it over to him, that would be a great look. But if that's taken away, you still have time to catch it, make a move, and shoot. You don't have to panic.
And Moretti will trigger in on the baseline. There's the pass to Miller, the fake, the foul, and he'll go to the line with 2.2 to go.
Frank, you're on the money. You've been watching a lot of FAU basketball. Baba comes across. Again, they don't lob it over. Beautiful bounce pass by Nico to get him in scoring position. Anytime you have 2 feet in the lane, my theory is you should be able to score it or get fouled.
Well, you would have loved to have seen this ball go in if you're Florida Atlantic. Timeout, Rice. So Rob Lanier trying to ice Baba Miller. A well-designed play by Florida Atlantic. It wasn't the straight lob to Miller. It was the cross screen down low.
Again, keep in mind, Florida Atlantic has been running excellent sets after a timeout the entire basketball game, which is a tremendous amount of credit to the coaching staff. They know and understand what works for their team. In this case here, Baba gets it, scoring position. He's fouled, 2.2 remaining. He's looking to make 2 free throws. Tremendous amount of pressure you put on Rice. They'll most likely call a timeout. Can you keep everything in front of you? But I don't want to get ahead of the game. The free throws need to be made first.
When I talked about an issue closing games for Florida Atlantic, the past 2 games, that was an issue of they've been down in the second half. They've come back about midway in the second half to either take a small lead or tie the game. But then those last, against UAB, it was the last basically 2.5 minutes. Against Tulane on Wednesday night, it was the last 10 minutes where they just can't get anything going offensively. They battled back from a 16-point deficit to put themselves in position to win this game with Baba Miller at the free throw line. It'll be his first trip to the line today. Miller with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and an assist.
Usually in games like this, and the games you're referring to, is time and score basketball. FAU has been very fortunate in this situation where you've had stoppages and you can get your coaching staff to assist you on each play. You come out of a timeout, a set play is run where it's not a situation where you're on the floor and you have to make a decision on the fly. So they're very fortunate to get that in this case here.
So the junior from Mallorca, Spain, Baba Miller, steps to the line, shooting 2. What's the first? Florida Atlantic with their first lead since way back at 7-6. Well, the Ellie's been rocking here in the second half as Florida Atlantic mounted this comeback. Miller, 2 of 2. 75-73. Rice on the baseline. Dar fires from beyond half court, no good, and Florida Atlantic picks up a come-from-behind victory, their first home win in American Conference play after losing their first 2.
Great job by this Florida Atlantic team to fight back. Again, showed tremendous amount of perseverance. You love that the crowd got involved also to help them out. Good look, excellent job here at the Alley.
And if you look at the scoring, Carroll with 17, Miller with 12, Glenn with 10, Tandy with 13. So they spread out the scoring. But for you, Chris, what was the key to that comeback?
Defense. You had to defend and get some stops. And Frank, I made it clear to you, you wanted to take away the 3 and make it a little bit more difficult so they weren't shooting easy shots, and you started to see some difficult 2s taken. You made some, but the tough shots near the latter part of that second half, they deterred, got into transition, able to score the basketball. Tremendous job weathering the storm here at home.
So Rice, despite shooting 13 of 25 from 3, falls by 2. A tough loss if you're Rob Lanier.
No question about a tough loss if you're Rice. On the road, you thought you were able to pick up 1. However, in that case here, I said it in the beginning of the broadcast, both of these teams aren't far away FAU was able to get over the hump this afternoon.
With the win, Florida Atlantic improves to 10-9 and 3-3 in conference play. Rice drops to 11-8 and 2-4 inside the American. We're awaiting our post-game interview as the players greet the fans as they normally do after a win here at the Ellie. Some big efforts down the stretch by Florida Atlantic. They were down 16 in the second half. Well, let's check in with Gabriella once again with Trey Carroll.
What a close and competitive game. Take me through those last 2 minutes of that close game.
Man, what a fight. Unbelievable job by all of our guys, and I'm just super proud. We came back down from double digits, something we haven't done this season, did at home. Man, this group, we're something special once we're clicking. And I'm just super happy with the win and back in the win column, baby.
What type of tone do you think this sets for your team chemistry moving forward?
I think this sets a new standard. Like, when we're going. We just got to play as a team, follow the coach's game plan. Man, Coach Jacobs, what a guy. Love him. Coach AD did a great job for our scouting report. Love him. And we followed it in the last 5 minutes, and we got the job done.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Trey, and thanks to Gabriella. Trey Carroll, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists today. What a game.
No question about it. I love what he said, talking about following the scouting report the last 5 minutes and doing exactly what they wanted them to do. And that's part of the chemistry, the evolution of this team coming together. Both of these coaches, tremendous amount of respect from my part. But Coach Jake is doing exactly what he does well.
There's your final score, 75-73 Florida Atlantic. For Gabriella Hoagland, Chris Williams, and myself, Frank Fortin, our entire crew, have a great rest of the day.